Today I'm going to talk to you about living a completely different life, one that you might not even realize was possible. A lot of us are running around working 60 to 80 hours a week, making somebody else rich, pouring all our time and energy into somebody else's projects, scraping by trying to earn enough to pay the bills, wasting it all on cable TV, video games, and booze, living for the weekend, and waiting for those 2 weeks of vacation each year. What if you could make a few drastic changes to your lifestyle that meant you got to play by a whole different set of rules for the rest of your life? What if you could live this jet-set travel lifestyle you've been seeing other people flaunt? You could travel more regularly, even full-time, or live abroad and enjoy a lower cost of living with a much more fulfilling and rewarding lifestyle, while you continue to work, ideally for yourself, and invest that valuable time and energy of yours into building your own legacy. Well, allow me to introduce you to a simple but revolutionary idea: Geo-Arbitrage. I've spent the last 4 years living and traveling all around Asia. Why exactly? Well, did you know that in Thailand, $1 is worth about 32 Thai baht? In the Philippines, for every $1, you've got yourself about 43 pesos. In Cambodia, every good old greenback in your pocket is worth more than 4,000 real. Somewhere like Bali, $1 is equivalent to over 9,300 Indonesian rupiahs. And the current exchange rate in Vietnam is over 20,800 dong to the dollar. Now, back in the day, your father probably did everything he could to stay away from Vietnam. But things have changed. In today's globalized world, these numbers create a very special opportunity for aspiring young entrepreneurs who are bootstrapping their own small businesses. That's Geo-Arbitrage, leveraging the power of economics to our own benefit. Live and work where there's a low cost of living, where you can live a very comfortable lifestyle for much less, while you earn in a stronger currency. That means your money stretches much further. You see, there's a big problem with how everyone else is doing it. Spending all their time and effort chasing after other people's permission, spinning their wheels in the rat race, climbing the corporate ladder. Some people are doing quite well, and if that's the life you want, then more power to you. This isn't the only way. But a lot of young folks spend 4 years getting a university degree and going into $20,000 of debt, only to find that they're still not qualified for the salary level they think they deserve, or that the only jobs out there right now are soul-crushing prison sentences. So they go back to school for the graduate degree, the MBA, they go into another $60,000 of debt, $100,000 of debt, just to get into certain circles. They end up becoming permanent students. Now, I am a proponent of lifelong learning, and I think there's great value in pursuing continued education. But I know now that it's more powerful when you chase your own interests and learn firsthand from experienced people who've done what you want to do, and through the trial and error of experience. In 2006, I was working full-time in an office job for a college of business at the California State University, learning from the professors and working directly with the dean of the business school. I began a web development business on the side, creating sites for small companies in Silicon Valley, working with lots of authors and more. I started Thrilling Heroics originally because I wanted to sneak my way into the prestigious Stanford Graduate School of Business. But I realized after using the web to connect with the kind of amazing people I'd hoped to surround myself with, that I didn't really need that expensive piece of paper to do it. What had I always wanted? To make good money, be able to live in comfort, and most of all, to be surrounded with inspiring and interesting friends, to travel and see the world and have as many wild experiences as I could imagine. I'd already traveled to France, Spain, England, Italy, Switzerland, Greece, and so on. But after college, I'd gone into even more debt in order to do so. When I realized I was already working with people all over the world, from Silicon Valley to Australia, Canada to France, even Colombia, it became apparent to me that I could easily live abroad and work on the road while I traveled full-time. Since 2007, I worked from home for a year, really getting my business and myself ready to live overseas. I made the move and landed in Southeast Asia in 2008. I wanted to live there because it was as different as I could imagine from my experience growing up back home in the West. And boy was I right. I've lived in and around Thailand, in a big metropolitan center of Bangkok, meeting incredibly interesting people from all around the world, running charity mixers and networking events, volunteering. I've lived in beach bungalows and beautiful villas on the islands, places like where you imagine you might want to retire. I've spent the last year living in Krabi province, a world-renowned rock climbing destination known for its gorgeous limestone mountains, where we lived in an impressive 3-story, 3-bedroom townhouse just minutes from the beach, and for a lot less than you'd ever imagine. Every year I tend to visit home for South by Southwest in Austin, or for Coachella Music Festival near Palm Springs. But in the last 3.5 years, I've also traveled to Malaysia, Singapore, Cambodia, Laos, Indonesia, Hong Kong, the Philippines, and more. Now we're in Vietnam, and soon on our way to Burma for the first time, then probably on to Europe and South America. I've spoken at conferences in Kuala Lumpur, met millionaires, had ridiculous New Year parties in rooftop penthouses. I've seen the tragedies left behind by war and genocide firsthand, volunteered, and befriended people who've changed my perspective on life. I've taken surfing lessons and enjoyed private pool villas in Bali, eaten all kinds of weird stuff you've never seen before, spoken with people from all walks of life, and learned of ample opportunities for new business and investment across Asia. And man, I have learned a lot in the process.